Hello aspirant, welcome to Mission IS YouTube channel. In this series, we'll complete economy as per the syllabus of UPSC. When come to the economy play a prominent role in UPSC syllabus. Nearly 20 question can come to the in prelims and in mains paper 3 where approximately 90 to 100 marks question can be expected from economy. So, understanding the economy rather than reading and mug upping is necessary. So, let's see the economy in the view of UPSC. Okay, at the first, we'll come to the national income according. I will not covering the micro and macro economy, just a small topic. You can just check it in NCRT. I am not going to that because one thing I don't want to time waste, and another thing is that is not necessary for the UPSC, only for the understanding. And the days goes on, we will keep on understanding it. So there is no necessity of making a separate video lecture of macro and micro economy. Okay. Next, let's start the lecture. National income according. What is mean by national income? See, for example, in a family income will be there. Like compare adding of mother, father, brother, sister, and yours everything. In the same way, a country need to be have a national income. In the same way, the income determine your family growth, the lifestyle of your family. In the same way, national income also determine the growth of the country, how the country is progressing, and the development of the country. I hope you are understanding it. So national income is necessary. That means you can accept this type of question. What is the use and effect of national income? Don't worry, we will cover all the part. And when you are referring my notes, I'm damn sure that there is no necessity of verifying with another notes. Like you can check with Vision or Byju's anywhere. This is a combined note of all those things. Just you want to refer, then refer with Ranjiv Sharma textbook. That is more than enough. That is more than enough. Okay, next come to the lecture. Like GDP is measured this flow of money. See what is meant by GDP, gross domestic product. It's just a flow of money. Let's understand how the flow of money works. This may not act in the mains, but this is very important in your understanding. Let's start from the firm. This is a company. When the company manufactures something, it will go to the household. Okay, and wages it will provide to the household. Okay, when the company manufacture pen, this pen, who's will to buy it in the market? The consumer will buy it. Who are the consumer? The consumer or the worker of another company. I hope you are understanding it. Maybe it's different company or the same company. एक पेन का दुकान है, एक कंपनी है, वो मार्केट में सेल करता है. कौन बाई करता है? सिटीजन, कंज्यूमर. वो कंज्यूमर दूसरा कंपनी से काम करता है. सो just a second process, the company will sell in a market, the consumer will buy it, the consumer will be employed in another company. Okay, the company has another product. So there is a relation between company and household, true and firm. Income will come and we will spend that income back to the company to get that product. Assume that whatever the income you're getting, the expenditure is same. So the saving will be zero. Think like that. If you think like that, then you can understand the flow. Then the household will consume things. So we can see true and from motion. Okay. Then let's come to the government thing. When the company produce the goods, the government will give subsidies. So subsidies coming back to the company. Then the company give taxes to the company. You can see both way of money transfer from government to company. In the same way, the government transfer money to consumer household like ration subsidies, pensions, scholarship. In the same way, the household will give money to the government, like tax, personal tax, property tax. So there will be both the way between government and the household. Let's see in the rest of the world. The household will import things. Okay. So there is only one way of transaction between household and rest of the world, and the firm will export the goods. Sometimes it imports to raw material, but think that only export. You can see only one way between this. All this money flow is centralized by financial institution, means banks, RBI. You can just take an example of it. The bank will give loans to the government, investment to the firms, and borrowing like IMF. We have an institution in international institution in which India will take, or Indian banks, institution will take money from them. I hope you understand this flow. It's as simple as you understand easily. Okay. So this flow is measured by GDP. GDP is nothing but the flow of money. How the money is flowing, it is indicated by GDP. GDP is just a scale or indicator or measurement. You can consider like that. I'm focusing on GDP because the understanding in GDP is very important, because in prelims one question is compulsory in GDP from past 5 years. To calculate GDP, there is a three ways: expenditure method, income method, value added method. Don't worry about this method right now. We'll explain this in the next session. Now let's see what is the signification of national income. Do we need national income? For what? This is the mains syllabus questions. So I will explain clearly. For international comparison, national income is required. You can see we keep on comparing like US GDP this much, India this GDP is this much, will come to a 5th place, 6th place. We will going to beat USA in 10 to 15 years or 2050, frankly. And China will it's in the top position. For comparison, we'll use GDP. For business decision, for example, there is some sector which GDP is growing, and some sector GDP is not growing. For example, like take a agriculture sector, GDP is not growing. Come to the manufacture sector, GDP is growing. So the business person invest in the manufacture sector rather than agriculture sector. For I need to my money to develop. So for this business decision, national income is needed. Let's come to the policy formation. Like as I told, some sector will develop, some sector will not develop. To solve that, government will make some policy. Okay, government will make the policy so that the undeveloped sector get settled, developed. So for the policy making, we need a national income. For policy evaluation, for example, I made some policy in agriculture like Kishan Yojana, or let it be a new one. Okay, as soon as I make the policy, I will see the GDP of that sector in quarter, some quarter. GDP is basically calculated in the quarter. Think in that quarter, that in that sector, I see negative impact. GDP is negative. So there is something mistake in my policy. So I will change it before it make too much damage. So for farm policy evaluation, I need national income. For annual budget, we will separately study about the annual budget in coming days. So no worry about that. Just make sure that for creating the annual budget, for which other sector need to be given more priority, which other sector has to be less, how to improve the middle class families, like they have given tax above 7 lakh, then you need to pay the tax, below that not. All this, for that we need a national income. National statistics is just an accounting purpose, for that national income is necessary. There are four way of national income: GDP that I explained now, GNP gross national product, NDP net domestic product, and NNP net national product. Okay, let's understand what of these things and what is the use of these things. GDP, gross domestic product. We can write it on total market value of all the goods and service produced in the given period of time. Means what are the goods and services produced in India in given period of time. In India, we have a calculated of 1st April to 31st March. It is a 1 year from 1st April of 2022 to March 31st of 2023. Like that, it will go on. And it is a geographical boundary. Only produced by in India, not on other nation. Okay, and GDP is concentration on only final goods, not intermediate goods. For example, I will explain you. Look at this pen. The pen has refill, cap, everything. The refill, the ink is developed by the different company, and the body is developed by the different company. But GDP is calculated only on the full market price. What is the price of the pen in the market? Maybe refill may be 10 rupees, body will be 10 rupees, total 20 rupees, in this expenditure everything wages will be 10 rupees, total 20 30 rupees. The market price will be in the market 40 rupee, 10 rupee will be company profit. So what is the market price that will add to the GDP? We don't add intermediate goods in GDP. Okay, let's see what is mean by real GDP and nominal GDP. Nominal GDP means comparing a GDP with this year's, for example, or previous year. For example, think like previous year got $1 trillion. In this year, we got GDP of $2 trillion. This is called nominal GDP. But real GDP, the nominal, just a nominal. We don't take care of it, but we'll always consider real GDP. Real GDP is for base year. Like in India right now, we'll take base year as 2021, 2022. We'll consider base year. Compared to the base year, we'll compare today's GDP percentage, how much is grown. Why? Because why are you comparing 2021 and 22 to today? What is the relation between them? We do that because to avoid inflation. What is mean by inflation? Don't worry, I will explain you in next class or even in this class also. Okay, to avoid the inflation, we will use base year. I will give some example. This hope you understand it. Like take an apple in 2021, price of apple is 100, and the produced apple is 100. Total GDP equals 10,000. Okay, simple is that. But when compared to 2022 and 23, the price of apple is 150 rupees, and produces is only 80. Okay, you may see now the total GDP of 2023 is more, but in detail we go, the GDP is in negative in 2022 because the product produced, the price has been increased, the product has been decreased. So this is called as inflation. So to avoid inflation, we consider 2021 base year. Now come to the GNP. If you don't understand, just keep on revisiting the video, you will understand it. GNP, gross national product. It is a measure of value of output produced by the nation of the country irrespective of geographical boundary. What is GDP? In GDP, we will consider all the goods and service produced in India irrespective of which country you origin. If you are living in India, your goods and service are providing will be calculated in India only. In gross national product, we'll consider who is producing, not where. Means if you're a citizen of India, if your income, if you are getting income in USA, your GNP is calculated in India, but GAD, not GDP, because you're studying outside the country. But you are citizen of India, you are calculating GNP. Simple thing, GDP equals where is produced in India. GNP who is produced? Indians. Indians company. For example, let me take Jaguar, Tata company is also is there in USA. It is not the income generated by the Tata company in USA. It's calculated on GNP of India, not GDP, because it's outside India. And there is a USA company in India, Accenture, Cognizant, something. Their goods and services calculated on the GDP of India, not GNP. Okay, let's come to the formula. GNP equals GDP plus net factor income from abroad. Net factor means how much income I getting from the abroad and how much income I going against to abroad. Okay. In India, always they remember GNP is always lower than GDP. Okay, the income coming from the abroad is less for us. Okay, to get this, what is a net factor? Just look it out this formula. Country citizen and the company earned abroad minus foreign citizen and overseas company earned in country. Okay, always this next factor is negative in India. What is meant by depreciation? Okay, we know all machine equipment have some lifespan, sorry, have some lifespan. After few years, few months, sometimes it will go wear and tear. Repair has to be done, replacement has to be done. This is called depression. To solve this depression, a company need to be kept some capital to solve this. That's capital. It is called capital consumption allowance. It may ask in the prelims. Capital consumption allowance. Now, company need to do two type of investment in the matter of machines and equipment. For one, for new equipment, I need to be new equipment for expanding my company, and for depreciation expenditure for old goods. Sometimes old goods go on wear and tear. I do frequently repairing, replacement, everything. So total expenditure equals both adding net investment plus depreciation investment. Just an topic, just see it, you will understand what is meant depression, what is mean by capital consumption allowance, and what is the investment expenditure of the company. Okay, now let's come to the point of net domestic product. NDP is nothing but GDP minus depreciation. See, what are the output? What is meant by GDP? This is the final goods product. After the final goods product, I have some depreciation I need to measure minus, because depreciation is not my profit. It again reinvesting on the company, reinvesting on the country. So for net domestic product, I need to minus the depreciation. What is my depreciation? I already explained in while ago. Remember, depreciation of any industry is never be a zero, or it never be a negative. Depreciation always been positive and more than one. So GDP is always greater than NDP. Let's come to the NNP, net national product. Similarly, NNP minus NNP equals GNP minus depreciation. Same. Even depreciation goes on to national foreign goods also. Okay, there is no different calculation of NDP and NNP. Don't focus on that. Don't go behind the content. This is more than enough. Let's come to the market price. Transaction price of goods and service sold, including tax and subsidies. What is the market price? एक market price होता है एक पेन का, समझिए. This is the market price of the pen. What is the market price of the pen? Sorry, what is the market price of the pen? The pen sold in the market, in the store, 50 rupee, right? 50 rupee. What is the factor of cost? The production cost of which goods and services are produced. For example, excluding tax and subsidies. When you purchase this pen from the store, you have to pay some taxes. Okay. In the same way, okay, sorry. In the factor costers, the tax is not included. The tax is not included. For example, for 50 rupee, manufacturer is 45 plus 5 rupee tax, 50 rupee. This is in the market price. In the factor cost is only 45. Means factor cost equal market price minus indirect tax. That's it. That's it. And we can add this market price and factor price, all GDP, GNP, NNP, everything. Okay. Transfer payment. This is a unique topic. This is not involved in GDP, so we will separately read. The payment made by the government to individual for which no economic activity takes place. For example, the government gives some type of money transfer to citizens like pension, scholarship. There are even more and more schemes, Kishan schemes for farmers. They are providing free money for fertilizers. These have no economic activities in the market like in GDP or NNP. So we'll do it in separately. So it's called as transfer payment. Okay. No personal income. The personal income nothing but we all get the salary in a same only. All income which are received by all the individual in a year, like what is our annual package, what is a CTC of yours. That's there are two things, like including subsidies will be there and excluding taxes. The taxes what will be deducted, TDC. Okay, that excluding everything, the personal tax will be there, personal income, sorry. Disposal personal income, it is the amount which is left when the individual pay after personal tax. What is personal income without tax? What is DPI with excluding of tax, like after paying the tax? Personal income including of tax, we don't pay tax at that. And personal tax, sorry, disposal personal income after paying the personal tax. Just remember that personal income just your CTC, and disposal personal income the money will get in the bank. That's it. Now that let's come to the mains topic, factor affecting the national income. There are some of the factors that affect both negative and positive in the national income. Factor of production, of course it will affect to the national income. The more resource you have, high chances of getting a more GDP. You have more efficient resource you have, more chances of getting high GDP. And land, of course, the more you land you have n number of chances of extracting more manufacturing industries. You get a land, in that you have a coal, iron, timber, natural resource. The more you land you have, the chances of getting more GDP. For example, you can see China, USA, India, we all getting the benefit of large land. And capital, the amount of capital coming to India, like coming to our country from abroad, even that's factor. And labor and entrepreneur, quality of human resource is very very important in GDP. Maybe for example, let me compare with USA, sorry, China. India have more human resource than China, even more resource than USA. But in come to the GDP, we are lesser than them. What is the issue? Quality of human resource. Yes, in compared to quality, we are backward. How the quality is measurement? We'll keep on read that in future classes. HDI, we have an index. Basically, we use some example. It's nothing but the quality means education, literacy rate. These are very very crucial for the Indian economy to grow or national economy to grow. Technology. For technology, we can take the example of Japan. Japan don't have a benefit of land, factor of production, no resource, but they have a good technology. They have a good innovation. So for national income, technology is very very important, and more than important that this government has to provide a good environment, law and order for the business classes. For example, we can see, I will take the example of Bangalore, which is in India. It's called a IT hub because the government of promoted the IT by bringing the policy, IT policy 2000, the first time in India. So Bangalore became a IT hub. So the government make a prominent role in the increase of national income and political stability. That's the important thing. You can see in the which country there is a war, strikes going on, keep on frequently. There is no company to go. No company will like to go there. So political stability is much, much, much important. Even geographical stability too. You can add that. There should be no floods. You can see Orissa, Bihar, little backward compared to Bihar. Why? There are the many issues. One of the issue is geographical stability. This equivalent flood, power cut. So these are the things. If you write 7 or 6 or 5, it's more than sufficient for the mains. Let's see how the national income is compared with the other countries. You are comparing na GDP of this country to India, that country to India. How do we compare? See, by comparing, we'll take the common currency. We cannot compare rupees to dollar. No, rupees to hen, rupee. No, it's euro. It's not possible. So to do that, we'll take some common currency. We'll convert Indian rupees to that. Then we'll compare. Example dollar. Even China currency is converted to dollar. Our currency is also converted into dollar. Then we compare it. Okay. Now let's see in which rate we will compare. In which rate we will exchange. There are two type of exchange rate. One nominal exchange rate, that is forex market. See, one is the nominal exchange rate, that is the forex market or stock. It's same like a stock market. The rupees will be keep on trading. People will keep on trading in this market. And another one, real exchange market. This is the main important. Many people see, many people will Google it, and we will convert Indian rupees to that currency by googling it. But real exchange rate do not count like that. It's such a way that, let me tell you the example. I have an 100 rupees from the international market. I am buying this pen for 100 rupee. I am getting 3 pens. In $1 I am getting a 1 pen. So 30 rupees, almost 33 rupees, it become $1. But in the market is 88 rupees. So irrespective of market price, the real exchange rate will be there. The real exchange rate is nothing but the amount of goods I can purchase in international market from Indian rupees. It may be less or more than the current forex market price. It may be low, it may be less, but it's calculated the amount of the power of the currency can be bought in the forex market, which is a powerful currency right now is dollar. So it has a high value in the market. We'll see nominal effective exchange rate equals average value of nominal exchange rate divided by currency major trading partner of India. Same real effective exchange rate equals real exchange rate divided by currency major trading in India. Listen formula. Purchasing power parity (PPP). How much of basket of international goods can be bought from Indian rupees and the same basket of Indian rupees can be bought from US dollars? Just now I explained. There is something goods in the international market. See how much I can buy from this much of money, and the same thing how much I can buy can US dollar. That's how the real value exchange is calculated. Right now, from the present government, purchasing power has been keep on increasing. So it is very crucial for us to it is belong to the current affair. And one thing I need to say, we'll cover Vision IS PP 365 mains and 365 PT also, and Vision IS monthly magazine also. So this channel is a one-stop solution for you. There's no way to go another. If you want, you can refer some reference book for the static purpose. For dynamic, completely rely on this channel. Measurement of national income. There are three ways already I explained. Value added income and expenditure method. GDP is estimated by the CSC of India, Center Static Office of India. Prelims question. Center Static Office, CSO. There's three ways of calculating value added method. The GDP is calculated at the market price, no intermediate goods, only final goods. That is called value added method. Income method, the total income earned by the citizen and the business of the country. GDP equals wages plus interest plus rent plus profit plus dividend plus indirect tax minus subsidies plus depreciation. Income method. What is mean income method? Let's see. It's calculated on the basis of how much a person individual is earning plus how much the community is earning. That's it. Expenditure method. This is the main important for us because we in India calculate this method because it is much easier. Final expenditure on GDP, we calculate. Basically, this is the final expenditure. Consumption plus investment expenditure, government expenditure plus net export means export minus import. GDP equals consumption, how much goods or consumption it plus one. Investment expenditure, how much investment expenditure is companies doing. We learned what is my investment expenditure just a while ago. Depreciation plus new investment, that is called as investment expenditure. Government expenditure, even government also do some expenditure on some sectors. And fourth one, the net export, export minus import. Okay, in always we'll import more rather than export in India. This net export is negative in India. So GDP is calculated in this way. So this is the prominent one. And one thing I need to do, whichever this method you take, the answer will be same. The number will get will be always be same. But the complex increases. This is the best method we follow. Some country can follow different method. Gross value added. Value addition is done in the system by producing a unit of raw material which used as intermediate goods. What does it mean by that? I will explain you. See, for example, a miner, miner produce a coal. Okay, you will get coal by mining. Which are the intermediate goods there? There is no intermediate goods. Don't calculate like petrol, tools, machines. That's not intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are those goods which can be consumed to get a final product. Okay. So in mining, there is no intermediate goods. We'll get the output of coal. Think the coal as 10 rupees. The value added is 10 because value added equals total consumption minus consumption of internal goods or market price minus intermediate goods. Okay, let's come to the steel manufacture. In this, steel require coal. Here coal is consumption it to get eat, and the steel is melted. I'm making different thing. Okay, so intermediate goods I took is 10 rupees, which is in coal, that is 10, and market price is 30 rupee of that steel. So the value added is 20. So the final product we will take it. So it's 20. So by adding this, 10 plus 20 total equals 30. So by adding all the value added, what we get, that is the final product, the final cross value added. Okay. Let's see the last topic of today. Cost plus tax plus subsidies equal market price. Just for understanding it, for further classes you need this. Okay. Cost price, the price of the cost manufacturing. It includes wages, rent, profit. When you get a cost price in economy, you need to get to know that it consists of land, wages, rent, and profit. Cost price plus taxes of the company minus subsidies. Subsidies given by the company for book sector, like pen sector. Company will give me 5 rupee for one product, that is called subsidies. Even subsidies have the two method I will explain you. Equals market price. ये मार्केट प्राइस में क्या आता है इसमें, कॉस्ट प्राइस प्लस टैक्स माइनस सब्सिडीज. We have two type of taxes. One product taxes, production taxes. What is meant by product taxes? The taxes comes how much product I produce. For example, I produce 10 product. For one product 1 rupee tax, 10 tax. I produce 100 product, 100 tax, 100 rupees tax. 1000 product, 1000 rupee tax. In the same way, we have product subsidies. Government gives subsidies on the basis of only product. You have a 100 product, I will give 1 rupee each, so 100 rupees subsidies. 1000, same 1000. In the same way, you have production taxes too. For example, you establish a company, big company. There's a production set. How much you produce, I doesn't care. You need to produce this much of tax per month or per year, based on your land, based on building, based on various security. In the same way for subsidies too, we can know some in farmer or in agriculture land, we'll get some subsidies for cultivating. Okay, that's not on the product you cultivate, number of product. Just then you have this much of acre, you will get this much of subsidies. So we have production subsidies too. Irrespective of product you produce, you will get subsidies. Okay, just for understanding it, just write it down in somewhere, will help you in further classes. Okay, now in the next classes, in next lecture we will explain about the inflation. Okay, that's the crucial. You will get a mains one question or prelims one question in that.